The Afrika Convention is kicking off in Durban at the International Convention Centre today and will conclude on Wednesday. Delegates from across the science, health and innovation sectors will be in attendance discussing solutions and developments within the sector. Now, Ahmed Kajee is our reporter who's following that particular conference, and he joins us live now. Ahmed, good morning to you. Innovation is a buzzword when it comes to a number of sectors as we look to technology to help us with some of the challenges we face today. Talk us through what some of the key focus areas are going to be in the coming days.
Thanks very much, Kuli. And what we are expecting over the next few days here from the Durban International Convention Centre will be focusing on biology and science with regards to what innovation has in store for that and how exactly we can make sure that the economy then grows within this particular sector. A big part of what we have seen is that medicine in South Africa normally seems to be one where we happen to be getting medicine supplies from outside of South Africa and bringing it in. And what expos and exhibitions such as this one would then allow us to actually do is actually get this medicine produced locally and exported out. And in this way or form, we actually would then be creating our own economic development as well. And the main reason we actually see this happening is that more often than not, we have the sciences working independently, and being able to actually bring this into economic growth has been relatively difficult. And this is actually what the Departments of Science and Innovation and Africa Bio are trying to do, is getting all of these role players together and then subsequently creating that growth as well. And as we say that, the Department of Science and Innovation is a big part of what we are going to see over the next few days. And this is now where we actually bring in the Director General to this particular conversation. Dr. Paul, thanks very much for your time today. Perhaps this is a particularly important event taking place for the city of Durban, and particularly for the Department of Science and Innovation.
Yes, it is. This is the fifth Afrika Convention that we're having here in Durban. We've supported Africa Bio in setting up these conventions. And the reason for that is that we started this technology, biotechnology, a couple of years ago, 25 years globally. And we in South Africa started to invest in this technology around about 2002, 2003. And then the investment started to show companies and very important institutions that we set up around about 2010 and 2011. So this convention is then to just take stock of where the technology is globally, and you've had an excellent presentation today by the Emory colleagues on where things are and how between the two pandemics, HIV and AIDS and COVID-19, they've used the investment that was made in the United States of America in trying to find solutions to these pandemics. In our case, in South Africa, we know that the discovery of Omicron was through an organization called CRISP, KwaZulu-Natal Research and Innovation Sequencing Platform, which we had invested in around about 2008 thereabout. You are also aware that we've been selected by the World Health Organization to host the mRNA vaccine hub in Cape Town at the Afrigen as well as BioVac, as part of making sure that Africa and other low middle income countries have the capacity to produce vaccines. So we are making headway in Africa. We are learning from our partners globally, and today we also had that unfortunately when you have made this headway there are new challenges. However, the biotech is a very important technology to respond to the new pandemics.
Dr. Mjaka, how important is it then for science and innovation to be involved in creating more access to healthcare then for South Africans who may not necessarily have that?
Well, it is important for three reasons. One is we as government are investing in knowledge that underpins, I think, the final products that we get. And secondly, we also try and create an ecosystem, financiers, universities and other knowledge institutions to come together to convert that knowledge into products. In fact, on the stand not far from us, we're hearing that there are new startup companies that are really harvesting the knowledge from these public institutions to try and develop products. So as you walk around, you'll see companies. We are aware of the investment that we made in a small company from Cape Town called Cape Biotech that won the Black Industrialist Program because it has developed, if you like, diagnostics, and they were very, very successful during COVID-19. So the purpose, therefore, of having something like this and the importance of what you're saying is that we also get to see whether the investments that we are making don't just end up in research, but it ends up in products and services, and hopefully reduce importation of these healthcare products in South Africa, but also to save lives.
Dr. Philip Njogga, thanks very much for your time today. That's the Director General of the Department of Science and Innovation, just taking us through the importance of having a Bio-Africa convention such as this one, which brings role players from the science innovation sectors as well as the health sector to ensure that healthcare becomes more accessible and innovation and expansion within the industry continues. A big part of what we also will be seeing is the role of traditional medicine and traditional healthcare within the health sector, and how exactly that can be manifested and improved upon, and perhaps even taken into into the mainstream society, which we normally wouldn't have seen over the last 2 decades or so. So this particular convention will be seeing a vast array of discussions, also focusing on the women within the healthcare sector and with their role with regards to science and innovation. We obviously will continue bringing that rolling coverage over the next 2.5 days from here at the Durban International Convention Center.
Ahmed, Kajee, thank you very much. Live for us at that expo in Durban.